Hi, I'm Ryan,
I'm Mikhail Todd.
and this is the NAC News.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, a week, a month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the road starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you too.
Sorry I'm late. I was at track practice.
Didn't you do a story on that?
Actually, I did. Let's watch it.
The 2019 North Andrew track season has started for the high school and junior high runners. Shockingly, there are only 6 boys going out for high school and 8 for high school girls track. The North Andrew Junior High has 14 boys and 17 girls. The first track meet is Thursday, March 21st. Ryan Wilmus and Braden Brinks are the only returning state qualifiers for the high school boys track. The North Andrew student Ezra Moan says he's more confident in his pole vaulting this year, and he says the competition is not going to be as hard this year. Kelly Seibert, the junior high coach, said, with the large numbers, the team should be able to fill all the events and have the numbers to dominate meets and succeed as a team. Ryan Wilmus and Gentry Copper are the only seniors in track 2019. First year track runner Mikhail Todd said he has a pretty good chance of doing good this year in shot put and discus. I interviewed Ezra Moan, and this is what he has to say about the 2019 track season.
Are you looking forward to the track season this year?
Yeah,
How easy do you think it's going to be to place?
much easier since Gage McAdams is gone. It was a big obstacle.
Do you think you're going to be able to live up to the legendary Tyler Schumann in pole vaulting?
Yes, definitely.
And how's that?
Because he only beat me by 1 increment last year.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to the North Andrew track runner in their competition this year.
So, what's your favorite South American country?
I don't really know. Venezuela.
I did a story on that.
In recent times, Venezuela has been experiencing blackouts and supply shortages across most of its cities. The civilians are devastated by the disorder caused by unknown reasons. The leader of Venezuela blames the United States. However, what is going on amongst the complicated chaos? Venezuela, to say the least, has been experiencing an economical situation for the past few years. There have been an increase in sanctions on banking activities in the dollar finance system that has affected the amount of money available within the country. In addition, the PDVSA, a state-owned oil company, has been losing traction with American companies and economic aid. It likely doesn't help. Millions of the country's civilians have fled. On March 7th, the country experienced an electrical blackout across the country. Hospitals have struggled to keep machines operating. Most of the cities have been engulfed by darkness. The lack of refrigeration has decreased the amount of food available. Fortunately for the country's civilians, the power for most cities have been restored on March 13th, and unfortunately, parts of the capital, Caracas, are still without power. China, however, has stated a desire for restoring power to the country. In addition, the concern for food and water has been increasing. The sheer heat from Venezuela's climate has reduced the amount of food available, which was complemented by the aforementioned lack of refrigeration from the outage. Many fortunate people were able to store safe water for the events. Sadly, many others have been using contaminated rivers, sewage systems, and other bodies of water as a means of hydration. Even before the power outage, Venezuela has been experiencing a rather rough political crisis. The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, has been facing an opposing group led by Juan Guaido, a member of the Popular Will Party. Juan Guaido has been declared president by the European nations and the United States. However, Maduro refuses to be usurped by the newly recognized politician. Maduro has claimed that the United States has been using the situation as a means of gathering more oil, along with cutting out the power. In addition, the U.S. Embassy has been evacuated from the country. However, many civilians of the country believe Maduro is simply had an error in the economy's handling and views the accusation as a means of pointing the finger at someone else. However, could Maduro be correct on his accusations? Due to the complexity of international politics, it is difficult to predict what will happen and the true cause for the outage. However, it is important to remember that, despite the difference in politics, these poor Venezuelan civilians are people. Hopefully, these people can restore their status and have successful lives after these unfortunate events. However, until then, let us hope that Venezuela doesn't face any more disastrous events.
Oh, the power's back on.
That reminds me, have you heard of the Ethiopian airline crash?
No.
Caleb did a story on that. Let's watch it.
Ethiopian plane crash. In the aftermath of Sunday's crash, which killed 157 people on board, distraught relatives and passengers and crew members killed in the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed and have gathered at the hotels in Addis Ababa to await news of their loved ones. The airline said relatives must wait at least 5 days before they can begin to receive some victim remains, while the identification of others is expected to take longer. The plane was on its way to Nairobi in Kenya from the Ethiopian capital when it crashed 6 minutes after takeoff early on Sunday. The cause has not yet been determined. The only one of the nations still flying a substantial amount of the Boeing 737 MAX 8s is Canada. Canada is in the Indians Aviation Authority is grounding the Boeing 737 MAX immediately, according to its tweet from the Ministry of the Civil Aviation. These planes will be grounded till appropriate modifications and safety measures are undertaken to ensure the safe operations. The tweet reads, "Fly Dubai" on its Facebook page, and that it's a fleet of Boeing 737 MAX 8 and 9 was also grounded on a directive from the Dubai's General Civil Aviation. It will use a fleet of its Boeing 737-800 aircraft for flights instead to minimize disruption. Much of the world, including the entire European Union, grounded the Boeing jetliner involved in the Ethiopian Airlines crash or banned it from their airspace, leaving the United States as one of the few remaining operators of the plane involved in 2 deadly accidents in just 5 months. Britain, France, and Germany took the steps to keep the Boeing 737 MAX 8 out of the air, joining Asian and Middle Eastern governments and carriers that also gave in to the safety concerns. The aftermath of this plane crash is that many people think that the outdated and very dangerous for still flying. As technology advances, so should the aircrafts. The U.S. just grounded these planes.
You see the honey badger in Kansas City?
Where?
Oh, the new chief safety, Tyron Matthew. Tyler did a story on that.
Honey Badger don't care.
The Chiefs have made a lot of changes after the New England loss in the conference championship. Some of the major changes are coming on the defensive side of the ball since they were ranked 31st for yards given up. A few key players have been cut from the team. Star safety Eric Berry has been cut, linebacker Justin Houston was cut, and linebacker Dee Ford has been traded to the 49ers for a 2020 second-round pick. These changes have been seen as a move to create cap space for the team. So far, for the defense, the Chiefs have picked up Harold Jones-Quarty, defensive back, Dante Johnson, defensive back, Damian Wilson, linebacker, and the biggest pickup is safety Tyron Matthew. So far on offense, the Chiefs have made a few minor moves. The Chiefs have signed wide receiver Sammy Coates, wide receiver Devon Grayson, and backup quarterback E.J. Manuel. And the Chiefs the biggest offensive pickup is running back Carlos Hyde, who is most likely to get the most playing time out of the newly signed players. He is a key pickup for the Chiefs since running back is the main position Chiefs are missing on offense. Other players are being eyed by the Chiefs, but no one has been signed. Chiefs will have a chance on April 25th when the NFL draft happens. The Chiefs are expected to draft players on either defensive side of the ball or maybe a running back.
I'm Mikhail,
And I'm Ryan.
and I'm gonna go find that honey badger that's let loose.
Well, this is all for this episode.